Yes, I am.
Yeah, because after I said okay, we're gonna be streaming already to the YouTube channel, and that's gonna stay as a document there. So if
Okay.
you're ready, we are ready. Looks like
Yes, we
we
are.
are. Okay, so let me get my camera back. Okay, everybody, it's Friday the 20th, January the 20th, 2023. Who could say that 2023 we're still together, right, Christopher?
Yes, we are.
So, so thank you for being with us in this time frame that we know that we're going to be also expanding to multiple markets. And it is my privilege right now to get started with this Friday coaches mentality. And I like to bring first my partner in crime, my friend from Kenya, Africa, somebody that I not just respect, but somebody that is becoming like part of my family, and somebody that I admire and respect because the courage, the ability to learn, the ability to give away, the ability to stay focused, and this gentleman, which is a professional also in his community, and he's being a role model for me and for team members. And the first thing we're gonna do today is that he's gonna share with us a small, brief um, testimony on how he's been processing this transformation between being a new person, shy, and without few, I can say, skills. And what I want to do today first is allow Christopher to share with us how he breaking that pattern, how he can become, and how he can teach you exactly what is the process, how he's being into the evolving process. So we already know that Christopher is in another level, and we want to enjoy your company. My brother Christopher Anzigalism from Kenya, Africa. So Christopher, I'm coming back with
Wow.
with the invitation process. So you it looks like you don't know that you was supposed to be here today.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Go
Well,
ahead.
well, thank you so much, Coach Chris, for giving me an opportunity to speak and share my journey. First of all, I want to appreciate all of us who are here. They've come to listen and learn. And Coach Chris always told me that whenever we have a conversation with him, I must make sure I have a pen and paper. And it has been my habit. I didn't know how to do it, but over the time, I have been able to adopt to that. And therefore, I want to encourage us to make sure when we have this kind of teachings, we must have a pen and a book to put down notes, because these notes are very valuable later. First of all, I didn't know that I could speak before people, or I could speak in a training like this, because of the nature of my background. I am a man of a few words. I'm naturally shy. And there are things that have made me to think that I could not do what I'm doing now. But when I met Coach Chris, I don't know what he saw in me, because we are very good friends, but I've never met Coach Chris in person. but we are very good friends. And I think you heard him say he's like part of his family. And I take it that way because he also is part of my family. So there is something he saw in me, and he tried to motivate me to that which he had seen in me. And many times I've been talking to Coach Chris. I call him a coach. He's my mentor because he has shown me things that I didn't know I had. Okay? I didn't know that I could be a presenter. Now I know. Okay? I have improved in various spheres of my life because of what I learned from him. And I want to believe some of you guys think that I'm doing the best, but it was not overnight. It has been a journey. I've made mistakes. I've been corrected. And on that, I want to say this. We never learn because we don't want to be corrected. Correction is not sweet. Sometimes correction is embarrassing. Okay? Sometimes correction is disgusting. But when you allow yourself to be corrected and you get correction, then that is when you become an improved person. And this is the journey that I've been walking over the years. And I know I'm still on the journey. I want to be better than what I am today. And this is a deliberate decision that I made because I want to be different. I want to improve. Okay? When Coach Chris was teaching us, sometimes, I think it was in 2021, he was teaching us on presentation. And Coach Chris said, you can present any company, any opportunity, any project when you are given the PowerPoint. And when he was saying this, I was doing a project that I was with him in, and I didn't know that I could do any other project. And I've realized that it's the same thing that Coach Chris was telling me. So we have to be open to learn. We have to be open to be corrected. We have to be committed. We have to be consistent. Okay? Because these are the things that have made me to be who I am today. I have presented in an empty Zoom meeting. I have been presenting to myself. And Coach Chris is very smart because he did something that I didn't know, but he did it deliberately. He called a Zoom meeting like this, and he had told me that I'll present, but I was not confident enough to present. So Coach Chris opened a Zoom meeting and he left. And there were attendants. People had come to be trained or to be, people had come to be presented to. And so I'm waiting for Coach Chris. Coach Chris is not there. He left. And then I'm in the Zoom meeting. I'm nervous. I'm confused. But I had to do a presentation, my first presentation. I did it very badly, according to my standards. But later, towards the end, Coach Chris came in and he did not identify himself. So I concluded the presentation, and we made it a habit that after every Zoom meeting, we had a phone call, a phone conversation. So after the Zoom meeting, he called me and he congratulated me. And I was wondering, what does he mean? I've made so many mistakes, but he told me I did so well. Now, that alone motivated me. And then he began to correct, criticize areas that needed improvement. And those working on those areas was not easy, because it is like it was a habit in me. I was used to it. I was accustomed to it. And I thought it was not easy for me to change. But all the time, he continued to remind me that I have done so well, but this area you need to improve. And the improvement is like this. You need to do this so that you can improve in that area. And over the years, I purpose to change and become better. And that is what is keeping me going even today. So I want us to be open to learn. That's number one. Be open to learn. Number two, whenever we have a Zoom meeting or a phone call or any conversation, please take notes. That is very key. Take notes, because sometimes you might be in a situation like let me use the example of Coach Chris. I really wanted to talk to Coach Chris yesterday. And I sent Coach Chris messages, but he was not responding. So if it was something that we had discussed on phone or in a Zoom meeting like this, and I had taken notes, it would be easier for me to refer to those notes. That's why it is very, very important to take notes. Okay? So even when I call you, whenever I call you, make sure you must have a pen and a book or a paper to take notes, because I might say something that may be useful later, or you might say something to me that might be useful. Okay? So always make sure you take notes. Now, consistency is key. Consistency is key because that is what makes you become a leader, because you have to show by example. And all of us here are leaders. You may feel you are not, but let me tell you, time is coming, you'll have a following. People will be following you. And you have to set a good example. When we have planned for a meeting like this, make sure you are there on time. In fact, be there before time. And be consistent to that. When we have a presentation, make sure you are there on time or before time. And every time there is a training, make sure you are there. So that when people come to follow you in your team, they should see you doing what you tell them to do. Because Coach Chris told me once that he cannot tell me to do what he cannot do. Whatever he can do, that I can do. So he tells me what I can do, because he does the same. He's been there. He has done mistakes. And when I make a mistake, he doesn't scold me. because he knows that's a process. And all of us have to go through the same process, all of us. So it is very important to be open, to learn, because that is how we can improve ourselves. Okay. Another thing I want to emphasize. Be a good example. Be a good example. People are looking up to you. When you have a prospect, how do you talk? What do you say? They are listening to your words. Okay? They are listening to you. What are you telling them? Because you have to exercise confidence in what you are saying. Because if you are not confident in what you are saying, they will bombard you with questions that you may not be able to answer, and they realize you are a fake. You don't know what you are presenting. You don't know what you are telling them. So you have to exercise confidence whenever you are approaching or sharing with somebody, whether it's your friend, whether it's your family member, whether it is a stranger. You must exercise confidence, because that shows that you know what you're saying or you know what you're doing. You must have confidence in everything that you're saying. And confidence is not automatic. You have to work on yourself. You have to get information. You have to read. You have to research. Okay? You must understand. Like right now, Genius Club. Genius Club is very new to me. Very new. But I take my time to look for this information so that I may have the confidence to talk about it. Because I'll be asked questions. I can't say I don't know. I must have the answers. When Coach Chris is asleep, I'm awake. When Coach Chris is awake, I'm asleep. And sometimes our time frame is different. So I might be asked something that I don't know the answer, and Coach Chris is asleep. I text him, he can't see the message until he wakes up. And maybe I'm with a prospect in a supermarket or in a bus. And so now I don't have the answers. Now this guy sees that this guy does not know what they're saying. So we must have the information. And information is found in a training like this, in a presentation. That's where the information is. The other thing is to ask questions. Please ask questions. There is no way without asking. Ask questions. Because that shows that you want to understand. Asking questions does not make you a fool. It doesn't make you someone who doesn't know. It makes you a person who wants to learn and know and understand. And that's why we are here to answer those questions. We are here to help each other, right? So I think, Coach Chris, my time is up, I'm sure. So thank you for listening to me. I want you to be open because we've just begun. This is our first Coach's Corner Friday, and we've just started. So a lot is coming. Coach Chris has a lot of material. He has a lot of information on how we can grow. And we can grow as a team, okay? We just need to be open and allow Coach Chris to say what he has to say, and we learn from him. We should also do the same thing that Coach Chris is doing. Let's learn. Let's take these notes. let's take this material. It will help us not only in Genius Club, in our own individual lives, in our families, in our own setups. This information is vital. Okay. So thank you so much, Coach Chris, for allowing me to speak. And I want to give it back to you. Over to you, Coach Chris.
Oh my God. It was worth it. It was worth it. And I've been telling you, in the process to learn, for you to manifest the experience of learning, I've been also asking you to be tough on yourself, to demand more, for yourself. And it looks like you've been doing your due diligence. It looks like you've been doing your part. So we're very proud of you, Christopher. And starting today in our first, Funny Friday, like we used to call it, into the Coach's Corner mentality on learning. Every Friday we're going to be here. Also, we're going to have to invite some experts in the industry. So we're going to create this mentality of the Coach's Corner, where coaches teach, but also where the coaches learn. Because we learn so much from each other. So today, Christopher, just to shift a little bit into the training content that we have for today, we agree on discussing the first steps on when somebody just joined this industry and they feel like a new baby, like a new toddler, trying to walk and run and play around, and still you need assistance of your parents, of the person caring for you. So same thing is here. As you go into this industry, into this new venture of the empowering industry, you also need the parent support, that person that hold you and guide you. And when you fall, they dare to pick you up and also redirect you, understanding that making mistakes is okay. Making mistakes is the growing aspect of the industry. It is okay to make mistakes, because the people that do not make any mistake means one thing: he's not doing anything. But when you make mistakes, it's a proof that you're advancing, that you're taking your steps, and you're risking. And this is where you learn. So when Christopher was referring to be open to learn and take notes, those are the first advisors I always gonna be sharing with you. If you're new in this industry and you're not taking notes, you do not respect the information, definitely you're gonna have very little chance. Very little chances to move up and bring some good results. Learning is a process, and making mistakes is part of that process. It's part of the process of learning. So let me shift into the first steps into the industry. And when you come to this industry, first of all, you don't know what to do, right? Because you already have multiple habits. You have consistent habits of expecting instruction from somebody else. And you also being exposed only to obey instructions. And you never run a business before, or you never are in front before. You always being on the same spot, an employee expecting to obey instructions. So somebody's gonna tell you even what to do and how to do it. And if you don't do it, they fire you, you're not gonna get paid. But when they come to this industry, the first thing that we need to understand is that you need to have the ownership mentality. So that's the first thing I'm gonna recommend you. Be the owner for first time in your life. Be the person making decisions. Uh, be the person that have the benefits also. Because when you're working for somebody else, they pay you, they rent you, but the benefit goes to the company that you're working for. And that's the first thing you need to have, a business mentality. Now, when approaching people, because that's the biggest challenge. Do you agree with me, guys, that the biggest challenge for somebody new is to invite or to talk to people? How many team members are telling you that they don't know how to talk to people? They're afraid. Talking to people is one of the most painful um, feelings that a human being can experience. After falling, they say that is the biggest fear. It's being exposed to public speaking. So, no better. They don't know how to communicate properly. They don't know what to say. And sometimes they just follow the guidelines that they see other people doing. They do as other people do. So understand this. When you are approaching a prospect, you also teaching that prospect because tomorrow he's gonna do as you do. So your first mistakes in front of a prospect may be a very scary experience for him. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna do what this guy is doing. So let's get into chronological aspect of my tips and tricks of today. First of all, remember that you will never have a second opportunity to leave behind a very first time experience. What I mean here, the first time good experience when somebody's meeting you only have like a split of seconds or maybe a minute for you to shake hands, leave a good eye contact. And even if it's by phone today, a lot of people use Zooms, they use the WhatsApp texting or FaceTime. Sometimes they're not face to face. So on today's marketplace, what you said is very, very important. So whatever you said, try to leave behind a good impression of why you said it and how you said it. And to do this, remember, this is very valuable to before even approaching somebody, understanding that you will never have, if it's for the first time, you will never have a second opportunity to leave a good first impression. First is first. And after that minute is wasted, you leave an impression for life. For life. Not just for a couple of days or weeks or months. Your first impression will stay behind as a stamp for life when you're meeting a person. So first thing to consider is that you will never have a second opportunity to properly leave a good message to the first time that you're meeting a person. That's the first thing to understand. So please be aware of trying your best to leave a good impression when you're meeting with people. But also be aware of this. Duplication at this moment is also getting first steps. Because the way you invite somebody, the way you talk to somebody, is the way that somebody will do it with another person. So at the moment you are talking to some new prospect, you are training that prospect. So be aware that you are creating duplication. If you know how to handle objections, if you can anticipate questions, all this, take notes. Take notes. Handling objections mean if the person have an objective, if that person has some time concerns, that does not mean that person is negative. They may have concerns, real concerns. Sometimes a prospect does not have objection, they have excuses. And you need to how to handle excuses, how to understand and smile in your internal, how to smile internally, understanding, oh my God, this person just bringing me excuses. But you cannot say it. And sometimes you smile. Sometimes you're taking it for yourself. But this is a moment for you to learn from that person. Because reading body language, when you're talking to somebody, give you awareness. It helps you read those little signs of how that person feels on those moments of conversation. So reading body language is also a mirror, because if I can read your body language at the same time we're talking, you definitely are reading my body language. So when Christopher was talking about to manifest confidence, build confidence, I think confidence cannot be fake. I think it's something that you have to build. Learn the process of how to reflect, to project confidence when you're talking. Even though when you are new, you can do that if you learn how to do it. And duplication is essential part of this business model of this industry. Okay, it's not about how good I am doing something, but how good I am teaching that something to somebody else, right? It is very important that you understand that person is duplicating or will duplicate what you do. For instance, attending the meetings is a duplicatable attitude. Being teachable is a duplicatable attitude. Be early is duplicatable. Because if you are early on every single commitment that you have for attending something, everybody will pay value. We pay attention to that. And some of them is gonna go and duplicate that. Some people around you are gonna do like, okay, I know Christopher is always early, so I will do my best to be there early. But what about, oh, don't worry about it. I know Christopher is always late. Meaning that also bad behavior duplicates. People repeat. People do as you do, not as you say. And this is very valuable. So why this is important before talking about how to invite people? Because what about if you're inviting people just left and right, and you don't even understand the concept of what I'm just discussing with you right now? So you need to understand all these little tips on being honest, be transparent, project confidence, be early. And most of the time that you have an appointment to meet somebody, you know, but projecting confidence is something you build by being exposed, because fear is okay. Fear is okay. Some famous people say that they confront fear every day, but they learn how to overcome fear. Some people say, okay, before I go to that arena and I perform in front of a live audience, I always have those butterflies. I always scared to death. Those 5 minutes before going to a stage are crazy, but they learn how to overcome fear. So one of my advices is overcome fear by being exposed. Learn how to do it. Learn how to manage fear, because fear always gonna be there. So again, before you learn on how to talk to people, how important is these little tips that we discuss in this early events today? So let me give you a trick that I use a lot, and I learned this as a skill. I believe it's very important for you to understand on how to invite. Inviting is not just going, oh, Pedro, I want to attend a Zoom meeting or an event. Inviting is a process. So one of the things that I do and I recommend when you're going to invite a friend of yours is that set up a process of the invitation. The invitation process, sometimes you need to break the ice at the beginning. So you need to, like I say, be aware of duplication, project confidence. All that is before you even talk. You have your friend either at the phone or live in the supermarket, like Chris was saying before. You have an opportunity now to anticipate what you're going to be asking, what you're going to be talking even before the invitation. So there is a trick I use. And please take notes on this one. And if you notice, I'm not sharing with you a PowerPoint, but I have already outlined in PowerPoint on these steps. So first of all, I always begin my invitation with questions. 30-second questions. Okay? So let me share with you my first question when I'm going to invite somebody. So I'm inviting, but I started with questions. So it goes like this. Miguel, listen to me, Miguel. Do you agree with me, my friend, that technology and finance are blending in the global economy today? Yes or no? That's a 30-second question. Miguel, do you agree with me that technology and finance are heavily involved each other on today's economy? Yes. Matter of fact, I want to ask this set of questions live. I want to know if Miguel will be able to open his microphone. I don't know, he left for work already. Miguel, you still there, right, sir? Miguel, can you unmute your phone?
I am here. I am here.
So you're available?
Yeah.
So Miguel, let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. Do you agree with me, my friend, that technology and finance are heavily involved with each other in today's global economy?
Yeah, in the last few years, I'm agree. In the last few years, is a big merge between those two issues.
So that's my first question for the people listening to me. And guess what I have most of the time? Most of the time, the person does not reply with yes. Most of the time, what you're going to get out of that person would be, of course, which is not a yes. It's a yes with accentuation. So Miguel, second question. Is this global change, if this new technology and finance blending affecting your professional life and your personal life today?
Definitely, yes.
Definitely, yes. So that's the second question I always ask before an invitation. And how is that? How is it affecting you, Miguel?
How it's affecting me? First of all, prices are going sky high, and I have to make extra money to survive and to get the things that I want. So I believe that I have to get knowledge, or I have to get to find out something in technology, because that is what everybody's talking about.
So it's like a common denominator talk about technology. Miguel, on this question and how it's affecting you, does these changes also forces you to reinvent yourself, to readjust in your career?
I think so. I think there's other things that I have to do.
So you have to readjust because of technology and finance. You have to readjust on how you manage your career, yes or no?
I would say so, yes.
Yes, right? So last question, Miguel. Do you agree that most people that you know also are going through the same situation, that they had to reinvent themselves in terms of readjusting into the new economy? Do you agree that most people are going through the same process, yes or no?
Yes, there's a lot of people that I know, and a lot of people that are working from home that has to do with technology.
So let me tell you why I'm asking you these three questions, Miguel, if you allow me. The reason I'm asking you these three questions is leading me to a final question, Miguel. If a new business trend, a new breakthrough is developing in that technology and finance blending, How soon do you want to hear about the information?
Can I find out right now?
Right now, right? This is what happening, guys. Evaluate this question. Miguel already sharing with me how does the blending of technology and finance affecting him. He's reinventing himself. He had to realign his career and also his private business life, all because of this new technology coming to the financial world. So everybody's going through the same. So this question is tricky. These questions are built on purpose. And these questions are is being part of a process of me coaching other people and understanding what is going around of the people they're inviting. So listen to me now. When I ask Miguel now, because the reason I'm asking you is because if it's a new business trend, a new paradigm shifting into the industry, and it has to do with technology and finance, how soon you want to receive information? Most people say yesterday, immediately. I also blame that question on this way. I also ask Miguel, if a new business trend is developing, brand new business trend, matter of fact, maybe 2 months. Okay, so Miguel, if a new business trend is developing, will you be open to evaluate information? I also change it depending on the situation, depending on the conversation I have. Okay, so one way is to say, will you be open to evaluate information? That's one. Another question, and another trick is how soon do you want to hear about it? And most of the time you got how soon? Right now. Can I hear it now? Because you're talking about new business trend. New information is coming like every day, every week, a new company, a new paradigm, a new technology based breakthrough is happening every week. So people feel like left behind. Some people feel like they need to be on top of the information today. But this is tricky. It's a tricky question. First of all, the three questions I asked before is to prepare Miguel for the last question. Asking Miguel how he feels about technology and finance first is for inviting him to hear about a new business trend. So he's going to be more open. By doing that, you also preparing that person to lower the resistance on the invitation. Actually, you preparing that person for the invitation. When you go straight to the jugular, to the neck, and you start inviting somebody before preparing that person for an invitation, this is where you confront rejection, negativity, misjudging, whatever you want to share with them. But when you prepare them, you lower that big wall of resistance. First of all, when you say new, if a new business trend, new means what? Something new, something that maybe that person does not hear before. Do you agree? So use this language. And another thing is this. I'm not inviting Miguel to a meeting. I'm not inviting Miguel to be rich overnight. So one of the things that you need to understand is that you need to avoid inflating, over exaggerating the invitation. Avoid to do that. Keep it simple. Talk about evaluating information. The person is a little bit more, I'm going to be looking for information. I'm going to be evaluating. One of the things that I found out when I invited people with these tricks that I use with this system, one of the things that I found out is that they do not just lower the resistance, but they are committed to the invitation. You accomplish a lot by doing that. You create expectations, and look what happens. And I think, Miguel, I think you witnessed this in private conversation we have with your prospects. I remember one of the prospects telling me Chris, could you share with me now? What is it? Like Miguel. Miguel just said, can I hear about it now? And this is the way I always manage that. I always say, no, because I don't want to take the evaluation process from you. I want you to take a look and have your own evaluation if the opportunity can be something for you or not, of the information is something for you or not. Look at this, a different concept when you say the opportunity is for you or not, or when you say the information is for you or not. I can change opportunity for information. I can change the word business for opportunity, and then I can shift opportunity for information. And sometimes I put this, I share it this way. Sometimes I say, okay, Miguel, I don't want to take away your opportunity to have your own evaluation. So I don't want to sound like convincing you or something or overselling the concept to you. I just wanted to take a look and then we can have a Q&A. So that lead me to the final aspect of the invitation. The first thing before the invitation, when I do this, I anticipating objections, I anticipating negativity. The way I invite will create the way my prospect will respond. So most of the time, if you got rejections, negativity from your prospect, is because you created that. Okay, you generating that negativity. Now, I hope that this makes sense for you. And remember that most of the time, these objections, they have like a format presented to you on excuses, like a problem. So instead of objections, the prospect believes that he's presenting to you a problem. Objections like, I don't have time. Objections like, I don't have the money. Objections like, I don't know too many people. Like, for the prospect, it's a big problem not to understand what you're talking about. So I do not have experience in business. I don't know how to talk to people. All this, you can hear a lot, okay, on this concept. So when you have objections and the prospect bring those objections and dress like a problem, you also need to not to be defensive, not to show like, oh, that's not the way I thought you're gonna respond. Don't be defensive, just be observative, you just pay attention. You need to focus onto the opportunity of the information you're sharing. You cannot shift for sharing information now to defend yourself from a resistance. So you need to focus and redirect problems and objections into actually the information, the solution that your information is presenting to the prospect. I hope that this part makes sense for you. So here is my acting part of questioning Miguel. Okay? This is how I act. First of all, I want to reflect confident, like Christopher was talking about. But when Miguel says, can you teach me now? Can you tell me now? Can you share the information now? No, Miguel, the reason I'm asking you if you will be open to evaluate is because on Monday at 8 p.m., it will be a conference, an online conference that will talk about that information, that we're going to unveil that information, but not just for you, but for a group of people like you. So we'll be more people invited to this conference. So Monday, 8 p.m. or Tuesday, 8 p.m. Which of those 2 days sounds better? Matter of fact, sometimes we run it like 5 days straight because it is a brand new information that we are sharing with the general public. So here it is. Miguel, does that sounds better for you Monday? Or will be better Thursday or Wednesday or Tuesday? I give Miguel two options to pick a better timing. I'm not giving Miguel the opportunity to pick a better answer. Because if I give Miguel the opportunity to either say yes or no, he always pick no. Because on the defensive resistance, no will feel protecting himself. That's the reason sometimes people says no, because they are not committed to something they do not yet is valuable for them. So the first answer that we make him feel protected would be, I'm not available. I'm not going to be available, or I'm not interested, because he's not committed. He feels like behind a shield. That's one of the reasons why people present resistance at the beginning, because they do not know better. But I'm not giving the opportunity to Miguel. When I say Miguel, would it be Monday 8 p.m. or Wednesday 8 p.m.? Which one of those 2 days sounds more convenient for you? On his brain, he's processing, okay, let me see, Monday or Wednesday. That's what he's processing. He's not processing yes or no to a question. So when your prospect is processing, he's going to pick the easiest one, the path with less resistance, right? So he's going to go like, okay, I'm open for tomorrow, or Wednesday I got more time. Okay, Miguel, let me tell you something. The presenters of this conference are very professional, and they always start on time. So I would suggest to you to be there 5 minutes before, because it is a very professional and very animated preamble of the presentation that you maybe enjoy. And you get to hear people from different countries and things like that. So I believe it's gonna be a good experience if you join earlier. So Miguel, one question. Can I share this invitation to your WhatsApp? Is this the number where you receive notifications? That sounds a little bit like an extra question, but it is something behind that, psychology of business. There is another thing behind that, Miguel. Do you authorize me? It would be okay for me to share the invitation to this number or to your WhatsApp. I know that that's the number where he received the information. Maybe because he's in another land, maybe he's already in Africa or in Colombia or Dominican, any other place. So it is like 99% of the time that I'm going to be talking to Miguel through WhatsApp. So when I ask, do you allow me? It is going to be okay for me to provide the information to this number. And Miguel said, yes, of course. There is a reason behind that question. And the reason in psychology of business is that Miguel is involved already with the decision for me to send the invitation through WhatsApp. Some people maybe avoid those questions and just, okay, Miguel, so I see you Monday. And they shoot Miguel with with the WhatsApp texting or the Zoom invitation. And Miguel maybe not expected, maybe not that interested. But when Miguel said, of course, send it to my WhatsApp. This is my number, for notifications. Great. He is involved mentally with the decision to receive the information. So this process of having Miguel answering 3 questions before I ask him, he's open to evaluate information. And then I shoot for the jugular, for the neck, by saying, Miguel, if this conference is a Monday or Wednesday, which one sounds more convenient for you? That is a skillful selling mentality right there. And some people do not know that. Some people just sending that Zoom invitation to 30 friends every day. And those 30 friends are just rejecting. And sometimes they can even delete you as a friend, or they can even how I don't know how to say this, but they block your WhatsApp, but not just blocking. Sometimes they just got your account on inactive, or they place it in a way that they're not gonna have notifications from you. So it is different when you go to Facebook, which is another aspect of the invitations. Going to social media, I'm gonna give you some tips there, but definitely it's a way different stuff when you prepare the invitation before the invitation. Learn how to do that. Today, I just give you some small tips so you can avoid. Start your invitation with questions, 30-second questions. And at the end, ask them if they're going to be open to evaluate information that is about a new business trend with finance and technology together, and which is the truth. But when you learn how to do this, you lower all those resistance, negativity, and objection and excuses for your prospect. Learn how to invite, but learn how to prepare your prospect for an invitation. He don't even know that you're preparing him. You do this skillfully, with confidence, learn it, and practice. So let me see who's participating today. I want to do this final step. Miguel, you're still there, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Janet, can you open your microphone, Janet? Remember, this is a team atmosphere. Janet, can you open your microphone, Janet?
Yes.
I got you, Janet. Janet,
I've
do you
been
have an opportunity?
following.
Yeah, do you have an opportunity to take notes or to remember the 3 questions before the invitation?
I've actually been taking notes,
Yes.
and the training was wonderful. I've learned many things that I didn't know.
Yes. Let me ask you, Janet,
Yes.
Yes,
please.
Can you invite Miguel for the Monday Zoom presentation at 9 p.m. Kenya time? Can you invite Miguel right now, utilizing the tricks that I just teach you? So Miguel is gonna be answering your questions, but I wanted to ask those questions to Miguel and invite Miguel for Monday. So can you do that right now, utilizing what we discussed today?
Okay.
Miguel is already in an open mic with you, okay? So you call Miguel, ring, and Miguel just pick up the phone. So Miguel, say hello to Janet, and Janet, invite Miguel for Monday. Let's go.
Hi, Janet. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Miguel. Yeah, you start by, the thing that I got clearly was I start by asking Miguel questions.
Yes, those first 3 questions. And Janet, don't feel, listen, this is a learning process. I wanted to feel okay. And remember, Christopher, when he was learning with us, he almost cried at the beginning. So don't feel like you're the only one. Okay? But this is what happened. You have a normal conversation with a friend of yours. If Miguel say, hey, how Johnny, how you doing? Then you gotta go to a normal friends conversation. You gotta go, Miguel, how you doing? This is Johnny. How you doing today? And Miguel is gonna answer. I want you to have a normal conversation and then shoot for the invitation. So can we repeat that? Can we rehearse and role play right now? So Miguel, just picking up the phone, and you're gonna say hello to Miguel with the intention to invite Miguel for Monday night presentation. So let's go back. Miguel, you just answer the phone, and Johnny, you just have a normal conversation. Let's go.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Miguel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay.
Miguel, this is Johnny. How are you doing today? It's a learning process. We good because a lot of new people, we confront that. What I want you to do, yeah, Christopher,
Yes.
come on.
Hi, Miguel. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm not very confident. I need to go through the notes a little bit, then I can
Yeah,
be
go to
more
the notes.
confident.
Go to the notes. Go to the notes. Ask Miguel the first question.
Okay, the first question that I wrote was, do you realize that technology has a part to play in your career today? Did you read my question?
Ask that question again to me. First of all, Johnny, I want you to do this. Miguel, how you doing? This is Johnny. And how you doing? Wait for him to answer. He answered, there you go, Miguel. I really want to have a couple of questions with you if you allow me. Yes, Johnny, what is it? There you go and read the notes. Go, Miguel. Do you agree with me that technology and finance are blending in today's economy? Miguel's gonna answer. But I want you to do it like it's a normal conversation between you and a friend. And again, don't be shy. It is good to have that fear because all of us, we've been through that process. When you master it, when you learn the process, you're gonna feel more confident. But today I understand. You exposed, you was not expecting me to ask you to be in the microphone. But I want you to be the model today for the team. I want you to practice this and master it. Do not go to invite people just to a presentation. I want you to follow this rule. So let's go back to step number one. And, just call Miguel, say hello, feel naturally, and talk like a friend, and then go for Miguel. I have a couple of questions for you if you allow me. Great. Go for the questions and go for the invitation. Okay, can we go back again?
Hi, Miguel.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Fine, thank you. My name is Janet. And I would like to ask you just a few questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. One of the questions that I want to ask you is, do you agree with me that technology has a big part to play in the economy today?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you so much. The other question that I want to ask you is that do you agree with me that the global change in economy today is affecting everyone's career?
It's definitely affecting every people in the world, I think. Why did you ask me this?
The reason why I ask you this is because there is the global change is affecting everyone's career, including mine, yours, and everybody else. And there is a now that one I'm stuck.
Are we learning on that? Jan, are we learning on that? Can you repeat the first question? Can you repeat it?
Which one?
The first question.
The first question that I asked him was whether he agrees with me that technology is affecting, it's required, it's required in our everyday life. I don't know, they asked him that or something different. But
okay,
excuse me.
Don't worry,
Yes.
Janet. Don't worry, Janet. You're doing good. What I want you is to read and practice these 3 questions. Miguel,
Yes.
do you agree with me that technology and finance are heavily involved with each other in today's economy? And he's gonna go, of course. Great. Is this new economy affecting your career and your personal life today, yes or no? Yes, of course, everybody. So how does this new blending affecting you? Oh, I had to reinvent myself. Whatever he answers, I'm behind, or I'm taking advantage of it. A historian, great. So, Miguel, let me ask you a question. If a new business trend is developing in that new global economy, would you be open to evaluate some information?
Of course.
Of course, yes. Okay. The reason I'm inviting you, Miguel, the reason I'm asking this question is because on Monday at 8 p.m. and also Wednesday 8 p.m. will be a conference that is talking about this new business trend, or this new industry trend, or this new financial development. So, which sounds better for you? Which one is more convenient, Monday or Wednesday?
Well,
Wednesday, okay.
Monday I'm working, so I can't attend anything on Monday. But I'm free on Wednesday.
Great. So, do you allow me, Miguel, to share the invitation to this number, to this WhatsApp number?
Sure, that's my number.
Okay, just expecting and confirming you received it. I'm sending you the Zoom invitation. Miguel, one advice. Please try to make it there 5 minutes before the time, because the conference always starts on time, and there will be more people like you invited. It is a very professional atmosphere, so I hope to see you there on Wednesday night. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks.
So please execute this, practice this, and try also to duplicate the language that I'm using. I'm gonna leave it like that. I know it's breaking a muscle, and not just for Janet, for any one of us that try to utilize these steps, these tricks. It will be difficult because maybe the first time you're doing it. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I know we're gonna be discussing tips and tricks on the invitation in future sections like this one. But I'm proud of you guys, and I want to bring Christopher so he can close the meeting and finalize this recording. We also are leaving this in a recorded video on YouTube, so you're gonna be able to reproduce this first step, which is very. We just covered a little bit of the invitation, but the process is way longer. The handling objections is way longer. So I believe we're gonna come back to the same concept for the next Friday, if you guys agree. So Christopher, you can come back now, and Janet, thank you. Sorry for me exposing you, but you're gonna be better every time you practice. You're gonna be better.
Thank you so much. I promise I'm going to be better tomorrow, next time.
So anything you learned, Janet, before bringing Christopher, anything you learned?
I've learned so much, especially the approach. And I promise next time I'm going to be better.
I know you're gonna be better.
Yes.
I know that. So Christopher, you have a little bit of background on your phone. So it's maybe your internet, but it have a little bit of noise there. Christopher, can we close the meeting then?
Yes, we can.
Now sounds better. Yes, it sounds better now.
All right. Okay. Okay, Janet, I want to let you know that you've done so well, if you have no idea.
Is that true? Thank you.
Janet,
that feeling-
Christopher almost cried the first day we did it.
Yeah, he said he did it to an empty audience. And I would like to practice that
So-
also.
So, all of us go through it. It's natural. You know, you never expected this, but whatever has happened today, it has made you a different person. Meaning, in our next, we'll be anticipating that it can happen. So you have to get ready. And that's what we are
Yes.
talking about.
Thank
We
you.
need to be confident. And confidence comes with practice on such things that you are being practicing today. So
Okay.
whatever, that's why I was saying, it is important to take notes, because
Mhm.
you won't remember that question when you didn't write it down. And because now Chris is asleep, you can't ask him to remind you that question, because he's asleep. He's not, he is not there at that particular time. And maybe you have a prospect whom you would want to ask that. You understand it? So it is
Yeah.
important to take notes. And when you take notes, don't just take notes. Go through those notes. Rehearse questions. Practice. Because don't change anything in that question. Don't change.